better roll them dice. You never know if it could change your life. Take a chance, you're neither wrong or right. You never know if you don't roll them dice. You better roll them dice. You never know if it could change your life. Take a chance, you're neither wrong or right. Pac Div. You never know if you don't roll.
Hello.
Howdy, Rob.
Hello, Matt. Hello, listeners. We are live from GenCon, from the Geneva Convention. We're here in our hotel room. We're doing we did our live show yesterday. We had trivia on Friday.
Super fun.
It was very fun. Thank you to the people who came out who actually are not listeners of the show. But thanks for coming out anyway. Maybe you're listeners now.
And the listeners who came.
That's right. We had a couple listeners. We had a couple listeners. Yeah, that's right. But now we have a little bit of extra material, and we're gonna record a little quick fun one before we head back into the final day of the convention and see what we can see. But
thank you, Patreon listeners, for supporting the show and letting us come to GenCon. So here's a special treat for you. Our craziest. We're going to start off with something fun. Our craziest takes.
That's right.
That will make you not want to be our fans anymore.
That's right.
I think.
We're gonna alienate every single one of you with our hot takes. Also, by the time you hear this, you'll probably, if you follow us on social media, we've been collecting hot takes from everybody at GenCon. And we got some good ones, but I think ours are maybe even hotter. Matt.
It's our turn now.
That's right.
Baby.
It's our turn. Matt, you got a really good one to start us off. Let's hit us with your hot take.
This hot take is a sin, and like, what is the worst sin, Rob? It's the first.
It's the
original.
It's the original sin. Matt.
The original sin.
sin.
Yeah. And so the original sin of D&D, among other things, but the one that annoys me the most is the core enshrined classes: fighting man, magic user, cleric, priest. And that last one, cleric, priest, really, really pisses me off.
Tell us why. Tell the listeners why.
I don't think there should be priest or cleric classes.
Tell them why you hate men of faith.
Yeah, no, I think it's all been rarefied, right, by like WoW and all these other subsequent editions. I think it precludes engaging meaningfully with the divine in a fantasy thing unless you're that class.
I do kind of agree. I actually don't like the way that faith and or holy magic is depicted in almost every RPG, but especially D&D. Matt's point, I think, is that there's holy wizards, right?
Yeah, they're just holy wizards.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have them, then you sort of force every character in your game to engage, like, what's your patron deity or deities, and then do you get some like weird blessings from them, or how do you engage in worship? Do they exist or not? And I think you could still have paladins, like these weird people, like divine vessels for the gods who have superpowers, fantasy superpowers, but not spell casting. And then everyone else, from your wizards to your thieves, are grubbing for divine blessings. I think it's because I'm reading the Daughters War trilogy, which the fantasy system works exactly like this. I'm like, oh, this is actually what I want for my games. That's my hot take.
I think we would miss cleric and or priest classes, but I gotta agree that I would like to see them implemented differently.
Well, it also, if you just let wizards heal, then it balances them.
Wouldn't be. I know. Give wizards healing spells is the answer here.
Yeah. Then they have to switch between exploding the world or making sure everyone doesn't die, which is a tough choice.
Which is much more interesting, in my opinion.
Okay, you got a similar one.
I have a similar one. This one's equally hot, maybe. I got some. I floated this to some people. I got a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stand by it.
Everyone hated this.
Everyone hated it, but they're wrong. And it's that the Ranger was also a mistake. The Ranger, no reason to exist. The only reason why there's a Ranger class is because a bunch of nerds who loved Lord of the Rings yelled at Gary Gygax until he made a Ranger. Here's
in
why.
AD&D.
AD&D. Here's the thing. What's the Ranger identity, right? He's got two swords sometimes, but maybe a bow. Also nature. Also he hates one race, especially
immigrants, Mexican Americans. Sorry, I'm going to think of the Texas Rangers, who are real scum.
Yeah. It's an incomprehensible mess of a class, and people are gonna get mad at me. But like, I think there could be room for like a hunter or a warden like an English, protector of the forest. But the ranger as it exists is just a mess. It's just Aragorn. It's just Aragorn with the serial numbers filed off, and that's fine if you want that. I just don't think if they're gonna have a handful of core classes that the ranger makes sense as one of them.
Yeah, I like the idea. We were talking with someone else at the con about this, of the druid just being like essentially a wizard subclass of like you're from the wilds as opposed to the academy, and not having shape-shifting powers. And then there would just be a shapeshifter class, and then there would just be a wild hunter class.
Right.
Yeah.
That would make more sense to me. Again, don't get mad. I like Rangers.
Yeah.
I played Rangers. I don't think they make much sense as a class.
I think the coolest identity you can find is having a friend, having a pet.
That's true. Sorry, the thing that you would not want to lose, which I think is important for our RPG, is like a companion class, one that has a little guy, whether that's a mount or a animal companion, and that is a cool thing about both the druid and the ranger. I'm not arguing to get rid of that. I just think that maybe there needs to be a pet class. That's just like that's what they do, is they have a cool pet.
Yeah. But annoying guy on the internet voice. Pathfinder fixes this. Daggerheart fixes this. Yeah, sure it does. Yeah,
sort of.
It does. Okay. I guess here's my next one, though I'm skipping over yours.
You can go back.
I don't want to. That's a good one. Okay. You.
I feel very strongly about my next one, so don't take it from me.
I feel very strongly, and I was surprised at some pushback talking to other really good DMs at the con who made me doubt this one, because I'm like, oh, you're better than me. But I'm sticking by my guns, which is you must run other systems to get better. This, I think, default applies like to people who are playing D&D and only running D&D. But I think it applies to anything. Like if you only run Vampire the Masquerade, you should run a different system to get better. It applies to everyone.
Agree. Yeah, I don't think this is as hot a take as it appears to be. But we've been talking to a lot of GMs at the con who are good, who are better than us. Yeah, and this is the thing. I think they're being buoyed by their talent, Matt.
Yeah.
I think they're good enough to like paper over the issues with the systems that they're running. And so they're like, I don't need to run another system. And they might be right up to a point, but also they're just like very, very good at what they do. And I think they would benefit from it, but also like people who are not as good at GMing as they are definitely would benefit from playing other systems. But yeah, you can get a long way by like just being so good that you don't notice. But this is both like a compliment and maybe a slight criticism of the people we've talked to.
Let's add a caveat to ours, is you must run other systems to get better if you are only as good as Rob and myself or the like typical DM.
We've talked about this repeatedly. We are replacement level DMs. That is we are that's what we are. And so like we're kind of the bar, right? Like, if you're as, you're better than us, I guess you don't need to, but like if you're about as good or worse, then it'll help. It'll make a difference.
If you're a normal person whose life is not role-playing games.
That's right. If you don't have infinite time and energy to like professionally do this, then take some of the time that you do have to run other games. I think it'll help, I promise.
Yeah. All right, what's your next one?
Here's my hot take.
Yeah.
And don't get mad at me.
I'm already mad.
I'm not.
I woke up mad, Rob.
Woke up mad. The D10 is not a platonic solid.
Correct.
And it should be eliminated from the dice pool. I'm sorry, everyone. It doesn't roll correctly. It doesn't generate random outcomes. It's not a true platonic solid. It can't be trusted. It is an irregular die. Listen, I want to be able to generate tens as well, but I'm sorry, the D10 is not it. We got to do better.
But we have a 10-based counting system.
Look, I don't make the rules. I didn't design the universe, Matt. Yeah. So it's not my fault that 10 doesn't
Once again, Rob is
geometry.
Angry at God, I guess.
Somehow this is a cosmological problem.
Is God's fault. Yeah. I don't really have an opinion on this, but yeah, it does roll weird. Sure, you can get rid of it.
You can get rid
of it. That's fine. Poor D10.
Poor D10. Okay. Doesn't deserve this.
All right, this is I guess I'll read this one, but this one's yours, and this is the spiciest one, which is assuming you have extra time and money. I think most people would say you need to go take some improv classes to get better. And our take is you don't need improv classes, you need therapy.
You need therapy. Listen, this isn't
No, this is not saying you're unstable.
This is not an attack on anyone specific. Well, maybe. But it's not an attack on anybody. It's mostly just that given the same amount of time and energy, the thing that will improve your ability to run games is going to hinge much more strongly on your interpersonal skills than on your improv ability.
Yeah.
So listen, maybe you could benefit from an improv class, but I would say that 90% of people, 95, 99% of people,
us included,
including us, would do better with just a little bit of talk therapy.
I think it's just way more valuable to be a like chill person, a well-balanced dude, as opposed to someone who can be there with the wittiest of jokes and all that stuff.
Again, hot take, but I promise you that unless you if you love improv, whatever.
Sure. But do what you will.
Take an improv class. But if you're trying to get better,
if you have to choose one,
if you're doing it to be a better GM, which is it's a perfectly good instinct. Like that's nothing wrong with that. But I just think your time and money is better spent on other things.
Yeah. No. I think most of the successful DMs I know and the successful games that I've played in are run by people who are like, oh, you're very thoughtful of other people's feelings, and as aware as any of us can be of our own foibles and when I'm getting mad or frustrated, and that's such a useful life skill that really cannot be taught by people like us.
Right.
So
it's not something that's easily taught by somebody who's not like a professional in that area. So
yeah, I would take a game over someone who is chill and kind and considerate and aware of their own feelings over someone who is the world's greatest improver any day of the week.